大家好，我是 Martin, and this is Short Stories, brought to you by the Taichung Keda Language Center. Today's short story is called Buying an Hour. Do you have a part-time job? What's your wage per hour? Probably around $120. Am I right? I think that's the minimum wage now. Anyway, I want to know, how much is your time worth? I'm asking because that's what one of the characters in today's story was asking about his dad. You see, a little boy wants to spend time with his dad, but his dad is a very busy man, and his time is worth a lot of money. Well, before I begin today's story, I'm going to read the vocabulary and vocabulary example sentences. After I have finished the story, I will read 4 listening comprehension questions. Let's begin. Vocabulary. The lion's share. The lion's share. The CEO always gets the lion's share of the company's profits. Toil. Toil. Mr. Henderson toiled all day long to support his family. Virtuous. Virtuous. The Christian actor made a career out of playing virtuous roles in movies. Admonish. Admonish. My boss admonished me in front of everyone at the office. Be associated with. Be associated with. This area has been associated with gangsters since the 1970s. Vitally. Vitally. Your behavior will vitally affect your children's development. Adequate. Adequate. Had we made adequate preparations beforehand, we would not have had to venture out in the middle of the typhoon. Pay lip service to. Pay lip service to. The mechanics only play lip service to the safety regulations, so I feel like there could be a nasty accident soon. Drive home to. Drive home to. The father's point about getting gas was driven home to his kids when their car ran out of fuel in the middle of nowhere. Irritate. Irritate. Paul's rude behavior really irritated me. Firm. Firm. The manager was quite firm about his decision. Recede. Recede. Not long after taking medicine, the pain in Amy's head began to recede. Off the wall. Off the wall. Bobby is known for making off-the-wall comments at inappropriate times. Devastated. Devastated. Jerry was devastated when his wife died in the car accident. Vow. Vow. George vowed to stop smoking, but he eventually broke his promise. Neglect. Neglect. A man who neglects his duties is not to be trusted. Now for the story. Sometimes work gets in the way of what's really important. Most of us here in Taiwan spend the lion's share of our waking hours toiling away at our occupations. This type of behavior is almost universally considered to be virtuous and is admonished, perhaps, only by psychologists. A strong work ethic has always been associated with a strong society. Lest we forget, it is vitally important to physical and mental health that we maintain adequate balance between work and play, between career and family. Most unfortunately, pay mere lip service to this idea. Recently, the point was driven home to me in a way that I will never forget. One day, recently, as I arrived home from work late and tired, I noticed my 5-year-old son waiting for me at the door. He immediately asked me the amount of my hourly salary. Although his question irritated me, I calmly explained that it is quite impolite to ask this question. He persisted in asking it again, but I was firm in my position. Later, when my emotions receded, I went calmly into his room and asked the reason for his off-the-wall question. The answer was as unconventional as the question. My son said he wanted to buy an hour of my time. I immediately understood his meaning and was devastated. I put my arms around my little boy as I begged for his forgiveness. Then I vowed from that day forward to spend more time with my family. Life is too short to neglect the people you love the most. So a little boy wanted to spend an hour with his dad, but his dad's a busy man, so he thought he had to buy his dad that hour, that time with his dad. Wow, that's kind of sad, actually. Well, now I'm going to read the listening comprehension questions. Number 1. What is the main idea of the article? A. People should give up their office jobs and work at home. B. People usually do not spend enough time working. C. People often place work above family. D. People who have no children are the best employees. The answer is C. People often put work above family. This is definitely true in Taiwan and in many other Asian countries as well. And it is not a good thing, usually. Question 2. What do psychologists say about the importance of work and family? A. Time spent on family and leisure activities is overrated. B. Time spent on family and leisure activities is very important. C. Time spent by most families on leisure activities is generally adequate. D. Time spent by most families on leisure activities is often excessive. The answer is B. Time spent on family and leisure activities is very important. That is the answer, and I may understand if you were a little confused. There is some interesting vocabulary with all 4 of these possible answers. The word overrated means it's not as good as people think, and that is not true. It is not overrated. If anything, it is underrated. It's better than you think. Adequate, the word adequate in answer C, adequate means good enough. Not great, not bad, but enough. What psychologists are saying is that it is not enough. It is not adequate. So the answer is not C. D, the word excessive. Excessive means too much. Obviously, parents are not spending too much time with their kids. Question 3. Why did the little boy want to know how much money his father makes? A, to decide if he should choose the same occupation as his father. B, to know if the family was rich or poor. C, to know if he could afford to buy an hour of his father's time. D, to know how much he would make when he grew up. The answer is C, to know if he could afford to buy an hour of his father's time. Question 4. What is the moral of the story? A, kids say the strangest things sometimes. B, children are the shining light of the future. C, working hard equals getting rich. D, family is more important than work. The answer is D, family is more important than work. That's it for today. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.